Are your houseplants turning yellow, getting brown tips, or looking droopy no matter what you do? Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, I'll show you the most common indoor plant problems and exactly how to fix them, so your plants can thrive again. If you love plants but struggle to keep them healthy, this video is for you. We'll be covering everything from pests to wilting leaves and much more. So let's get started. First up is yellowing leaves. This is one of the most common issues plant parents deal with. You notice your plant leaves start turning yellow and you wonder why. Is it a lack of light? Is it too much water? First, let's look at what causes the problem. Then we'll talk about the solution. A plant's leaves are green because of chlorophyll, which is important for photosynthesis. Chlorophyll also reflects green light and absorbs other colors in the visible spectrum. But when the chlorophyll breaks down, you're left with the other colors such as yellow. Now, why does this happen? Well, there are two main reasons. The first is overwatering. When you water your plants too often, the roots end up burning and can't take up water and nutrients anymore. This makes the plant starve and turn yellow. The second reason is a lack of nutrients in the soil. If the soil doesn't have enough nitrogen, magnesium, or iron, the plant won't be able to make chlorophyll and the leaves will turn yellow. Now, how do you fix this? Well, the first step is to check the moisture of the soil. Stick your finger in the soil and water only when the soil is dry. And don't worry if you forget, just use a moisture meter. These are super cheap and really helpful. The second thing you can do is fertilize your plants once a month during the growing season. There are many types of fertilizers out there, so pick one that works for you. Next up is brown leaf tips. You may have noticed your plant leaves turning brown at the tips, and you may be wondering why this is happening. Brown leaf tips are a common problem for indoor plants, but luckily it's usually quite simple to fix. There are three main reasons for this problem. First, low humidity. Most houseplants come from tropical areas where the humidity is high. If the air in your home is too dry, the plant will start to suffer. Second, salt buildup. If you use tap water, minerals can build up in your plant's soil and eventually burn the plant's roots, causing brown tips. Finally, inconsistent watering. If you sometimes forget to water your plants, the leaves will start to turn brown and crispy at the tips. So how do you fix this problem? Well, first you want to increase the humidity around your plant. You can do this by grouping plants together, placing them on a pebble tray, or using a humidifier. Second, flush out the salts by watering your plant with distilled or rainwater. Do this once a month to prevent any salt buildup. Third, try to water your plants consistently. Use a moisture meter to help you with this. 3 is drooping or wilting plants. Have you ever come home to find your once vibrant houseplant wilted and drooping? Don't panic. It might not be as bad as you think. While wilting can be caused by underwatering, it can also be caused by overwatering or root rot. When you water your plants, the water gets absorbed by the roots and then moves up through the plant. If there's too much water in the soil, the roots end up burning and can't take up water anymore. This makes the plant wilt. So how do you fix this? Well, first you want to check the soil moisture before you water your plant. If the soil is already wet, wait a few days and water again. If the soil is dry, water your plant thoroughly until it runs out of the drainage holes. To prevent future wilting, repot your plant into a well-draining soil mix and a pot with drainage holes. Okay, so those were 3 of the most common indoor plant problems. Let's move on to some more. Up next is pests. Spider mites, fungus gnats, and aphids are some of the most common pests you'll encounter when growing houseplants. They're small, hard to see, and can cause big problems if left untreated. But don't worry, there are things you can do to get rid of them. Let's start with spider mites. These tiny arachnids spin webs and suck the sap out of your plants. You'll know you have them if you see webbing on the undersides of leaves and notice that the leaves are starting to turn yellow and drop off. To get rid of them, you can spray your plants with a strong jet of water or wipe the leaves with a damp cloth. Next is fungus gnats. These little flies are attracted to damp soil and decaying organic matter. They don't usually cause serious damage, but they can be annoying. Plus, their larvae can end up burning your plant's roots. To get rid of fungus gnats, allow the top layer of the soil to dry out completely between waterings. You can also sprinkle cinnamon or neem oil on the surface of the soil. This will prevent the fungus gnats from laying eggs in the soil. Finally, we have aphids. These little insects suck the sap out of plants and can cause the leaves to curl and distort. You'll usually find them on the underside of leaves or on the new growth of the plant. To get rid of aphids, you can spray your plants with a solution of 1 part milk to 4 parts water. Number 5 is leggy growth. Have you ever noticed your houseplant getting tall and thin with long, weak stems? This condition is called etiolation or legginess. It happens when a plant doesn't have enough light. In order to survive, the plant will start to grow towards the nearest light source. This causes the stems to stretch out and become weak and spindly. Long, weak stems can eventually break, leaving you with a damaged plant. So how do you fix this? Well, simply move your plant to a spot with brighter indirect light. Just remember to move your plant gradually to avoid burning the leaves. Okay, so those were 5 more common indoor plant problems. Let's move on to some more. Number 6 is slow growth or stunted plants. You may have noticed that your plant isn't growing as fast as you'd like, or maybe it seems like it's not growing at all. This is called stunted growth, and it can be caused by a few different things. First, the soil could be poor quality or have the wrong nutrient balance. Maybe it has too much or too little of a certain nutrient, which can cause your plant to struggle. Second, if you're not fertilizing your plants, they won't have the nutrients they need to grow. Third, your plant may be in the wrong size pot. If it's in a pot that's too big, the soil will stay soggy and the roots will end up burning. This will cause your plant to stop growing. So how do you fix this problem? Well, first, check the type of soil you're using. Use a high-quality potting mix and add compost to improve the soil. Second, fertilize your plants regularly. Try to fertilize at least once a month during the growing season. Third, make sure your plant is in the right-sized pot. Repot your plant into a container that's only 1 to 2 inches wider than the current pot. Number 7 is root rot. Root rot happens when a plant's roots are in soggy soil for too long. The roots end up burning and can't take up water and nutrients anymore. This can kill your plant if you don't act quickly. So how do you tell if your plant has root rot? Well, first check the roots. If the roots are soggy and smell foul, they're probably rotting. Second, look at the plant's leaves. If they're wilting or drooping, that's another sign of root rot. So how do you fix root rot? Well, first remove the plant from its pot and shake off any excess soil. Next, place the pot in an area with bright indirect light. Water when the soil is dry and just make sure it's not soggy. Be patient. It may take a few weeks for the roots to recover. Alright, now that you know the most common indoor plant problems, it's time to fix yours. Remember, don't stress if your plants aren't perfect. Even the best plant parents make mistakes. With a little knowledge and care, you can easily fix any plant problems and keep your plants thriving. If this video helped you rescue your houseplants, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more plant care tips, and share this video with a fellow plant lover. Together we can keep every plant happy and thriving indoors. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. I'll see you next time.